The chamber fell silent as the holographic seal of the Galactic Council materialized. Above the assembly floor, Johnson stood at the defendant's podium, his jaw clenched, while Olivia sat among the human delegation, her fingers gripping the armrest until her knuckles turned white. "The council has reached its verdict," announced Councillor Vextar, his crystalline form refracting the chamber's ambient light into 1,000 colors. "Humanity is hereby banished from galactic space. You have 60 standard cycles to evacuate all colonies beyond your home system." The words echoed through the vast hall like a death knell. Around them, representatives from 300 civilizations watched with expressions ranging from pity to barely concealed satisfaction. The Draxians clicked their mandibles in approval. The ethereal luminari simply flickered, their opinion unreadable as always. Johnson's voice cut through the murmurs. "On what grounds?" "Your species is too volatile," Vextar replied, his tone carrying the weight of centuries. "In the mere 200 years since first contact, humans have been involved in 17 border disputes, 12 trade conflicts, and 3 military interventions. You are chaos incarnate. We were defending ourselves," Olivia called out from her seat, rising despite protocol. "Every single incident was provoked by your aggressive expansion and cultural contamination," interrupted Councillor Shren, her gelatinous form pulsating with indignation. "You spread through space like a plague, refusing to respect established boundaries or ancient traditions." Johnson met Olivia's eyes across the chamber. In that glance, they shared a century of accumulated frustration. Humanity had always been the outsider, the newcomer dismissed and constrained at every turn. "So be it," Johnson said quietly, though his voice carried to every corner of the hall. "We'll leave your precious council space. But remember this day, councillors. Remember that you chose this." 60 cycles later, the last human transport ship crossed the boundary marker that separated council space from the outer territories. Johnson stood on the bridge of the Defiant Hope, watching the stars shift as they entered the unknown. "Course set for the Kepler expanse," reported the navigation officer. "We're officially beyond all charted council territory." Olivia joined Johnson at the viewport, her reflection ghosting across the transparent aluminum. 3 billion humans scattered across 80 colony ships. "Everything we built, abandoned, not abandoned," Johnson corrected. "Relocated. There's a difference." She raised an eyebrow. "You sound almost optimistic." "I am." He pulled up a star chart on the holographic display. "Look at this. The Council controls maybe 15% of the galaxy. They've been stagnant for 10,000 years, bound by treaties and tradition. They stopped exploring, stopped innovating. We haven't. Over the next 50 years, humanity proved Johnson's words prophetic. Free from Council restrictions, human engineers pushed technology beyond theoretical limits." Olivia, now heading the Terraforming Commission, oversaw the transformation of barren worlds into gardens. Johnson, having risen to lead the United Human Fleet, coordinated exploration into regions the Council had deemed too dangerous or culturally forbidden. The humans discovered ancient ruins on dead worlds, technology left behind by civilizations that had risen and fallen long before the Council's formation. They made contact with species the Council had never encountered, races living in the gaps between Council territories. Some were primitive, others were advanced but isolated. All were curious about these strange bipeds who asked questions instead of issuing decrees. Within a century of their banishment, humanity had established the Outer Alliance, a loose confederation of 87 species, who valued innovation over tradition, merit over age. They shared technology freely, traded openly, and settled disputes through negotiation rather than appeals to ancient precedent. The Council noticed, of course. How could they not? Their merchants reported human goods flooding markets, superior in quality and lower in price. Their scouts discovered former buffer zones now teeming with alliance settlements. Their scientists read papers describing breakthroughs that made their own research seem primitive. Councillor Vextar, now ancient even by his species' standards, requested a meeting with humanity's leadership. Johnson and Olivia, both gray-haired but still sharp, arrived at the neutral station designated for the talks. "We may have been hasty," Vextar admitted, the words clearly causing him pain. The Council wishes to discuss humanity's potential readmission. Johnson leaned back in his chair. Readmission? To what benefit? The benefit of returning to civilization, Shren bubbled, though she sounded less certain than she had a century ago. Surely you miss being part of something greater than yourselves. Olivia laughed a sound that held no humor. We are part of something greater. The Outer Alliance has 123 member species now. Our combined territory is larger than Council space. Our economy is growing at 12% annually while yours has been stagnant for decades. We have things to offer, Vextar insisted. Ancient knowledge, established trade routes, cultural heritage spanning millennia. Your ancient knowledge is gathering dust in archives, Johnson replied. Your trade routes are monopolized by the same cartels that have controlled them for thousands of years. And your cultural heritage is beautiful, but it's also a cage. He stood, Olivia rising beside him. You banished us because we wouldn't fit into your perfect, ordered galaxy. So we build our own. One where change isn't feared, where new ideas are celebrated, where any species young or old can contribute and thrive. You're refusing our offer? Vextar's crystalline form dimmed slightly. We're not refusing, Olivia said gently. We're inviting you instead. Any Council species that wants to join the Outer Alliance is welcome. As equals, not as subjects or masters. As they left the station, Johnson looked back at the Council representatives huddled in confused discussion. Think any of them will take us up on it? Eventually, Olivia replied. The young ones, at least. The ones who are tired of being told this is how we've always done it. She smiled. And in that smile was the fire that had sustained humanity through exile and triumph. After all, we didn't just forge an empire, Johnson. We forged something better, a future where everyone has a place. Behind them, the stars of the Outer Alliance burned bright, a constellation of hope that grew larger with each passing year. And in the chambers of the Galactic Council, the ancient powers watched and wondered if perhaps, just perhaps, they had made the greatest mistake in their long history. The humans, banished and dismissed, had done more than survive. They had shown the galaxy what was possible when ambition met opportunity, when diversity trumped homogeneity, when the future mattered more than the past. They had shown the galaxy what humanity did best. They persevered. They adapted, and they built something magnificent from nothing at all. The end.